Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, and ballyho. To all my fans of chaos all across this flat earth, my name is Mr. Rotella, and I come to you every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern for all your misinformation needs. Make sure to hit that Rumble like button. Make sure to hit that Rumble follow button. We are coming to you live within the dome with I don't know because I still haven't fixed that problem. 9,400 and something subscribers. Continuing our YouTube channel deletion rebuild. And for those of you joining us for the first time in the dome, we stream in the moment history, and we are documenting the rise or the demise of the New World Order. Welcome in, everybody. How we doing? Mr. Rotella feeling a little bit better today. Feeling a little bit better today. Still wearing a jacket in the free state of Florida. Do you believe it? And I got pants on. Sorry to ruin your night. I am wearing pants, guys. What are we going to be getting into tonight? I'll tell you what we're getting into. We're going to start things off with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer talking about the Epstein files being released on Friday. We then got Caroline Leavitt coming out to the sticks for a couple minutes. J.D. Vance replying to that Susie Wiles interview. I was thinking about reading the Vanity Fair Susie Wiles interview for everybody tonight, but Vanity Fair put it behind a paywall. Are you kidding me? A paywall? By the way, coming this Saturday, Dome paywall content. Then, my friends, we're getting into the drama. The drama. We're hearing TPUSA's response to Candace Owens' allegations. And yeah, our main event, we're listening to Candace Owens talk about her chat with Erica Kirk. A 4-hour chat with Erica Kirk. I'm sure it went well. But before we do any of that, my friends, let's go inside the world-famous Dome chat and see who's joining us. Follow me. All right, who we got inside the Dome tonight? Let's take a look. We got Dome Stop Believin' joining us. We got Aram joining us. We got Westy Dog joining us. Ballyho, everybody. Elite Domer Finno inside the chat. Elite Domer M. Wiles. Elite Domer Ronnie, host of Dome After Dark, everybody. Elite Domer, Speaker of the Dome, Sharon's here. Elite Domer Kami Crusher, what's up, Kami? Machine inside the chat. Ballyho Machine, nice to see you. How you doing, Diz? So, let's talk about the look of Mr. Rotella really quick. We got a great response. Welcome in, Ballyho, Elite Domer Campfire Starter. Welcome in, Aram, Ballyho. We got a great response from what we wore yesterday when we were just feeling way under the weather yesterday. I mean, I was sitting here drinking tea and mind you, still being pretty hilarious. Just saying, professional streamer. But we got a great, welcome in, Dome Stop Believin'. We got a great response from the look. And you know what, guys? Eventually, Mr. Rotella is going to have to wear a hat. I mean, we make fun of the hairline almost every single stream. So Mr. Rotella eventually going to have to switch to the hat. I think we're going to make that switch between now and the new year. And if we make that switch of the hat, I'm also going to have to make the switch of no sunglasses. But I do want to keep the cutoff sleeves. I do want to keep the neon shorts and all the fun look. You guys are just going to be able to see my eyes from now on. How do we feel about that, Dome? I know we've been streaming with sunglasses for like 5-6 years with each other. Are we going to be okay? Put a 1 inside the chat if you're going to be okay. Elita Marani says, if we lose the mustache, I'm out of here, says Ronnie. I agree, I mean, the mustache stays forever, right? I think the mustache is the only thing that's I think it's going to be the only hair that I'm eventually going to be able to grow. Illy Comic Crusher says, don't look him in the eyes. Sharon Sear is more than okay with it, says Sharon Sear. Thank you. Do we really like my eyes that much? Goodness gracious. Campfire okay with it. Comic Crusher says he'll think you're trying to establish dominance, says Comic Crusher. Yeah, just the eyes. What are you, a Muslim? Says Don't Stop Believing. A Westy Dog says brand change. You have brand change? You have changed, Mr. Rotella, says Westy Dog. Dude, I'm barely holding on to the hair right now. I am. I'm barely holding on to it. We're still going to do the cut-off sleeves. We're still going to do the cut-off sleeves. We'll still do the tank tops. We'll still do the neon shorts. But I think no sunglasses and the hat are the way to move forward. M. Wiles says, I'll be chubbed up the whole stream, says M. Wiles. Well, thank you, M. Wiles. I take that as a 1 then. Dome Stop says, ooh, did your mail come in, Mr. Supreme Leader? What a little brown nose she is, says Arm. Did Dome Stop say that? I haven't gotten any mail today. I also didn't check for any mail today, so I'll check tomorrow, Dome Stop, okay? The mailbox is way over it's far. The mailbox is far. I didn't get anything on my porch, if that's what you're asking. Nothing is on my porch. I gave Austin like 17 walks today because he's a good boy. Machine says, did you get a new camera? Says Machine. I did not. It might just look different because I'm actually looking at you right in the eyes right now, Diz. How does that feel? I'm looking into your soul, Diz, right now. Hello there. How are you, Diz? Okay. Don't Stop Believing says, boo, bad American mail service. Well, you sent it from England, Don't Stop Believing. I mean, you should have sent it by Al. That was a little Harry Potter joke for everybody. You're welcome, folks. Westy Dog says, Mr. Rotella, grow a beard like ZZ Top. I can't grow a beard. That's the only. If I could grow a beard, I would. But like, no hair grows here. No hair grows here. I can't do it. Eric Elite Domer joining us tonight. Ballyho Eric, Ballyho Andy, nice to see you. Okay. Truth be told, I am having some beers with the Dome tonight. I hope that's okay. Let's get started. Let's get started the way that we always do. With a little bit of PJ's Picks. Follow me.
Here's a quick instructional video on how to get the best out of your Rumble. Making sure that you're live, so you can see bottom left corner live. When it's red dotted, that means you're live. Let's make sure you're watching in the highest quality. There's a cog on the right hand side. Click that cog, make sure it's on the highest setting possible. There we are, over and out. Back to you, Mr. Rotella. Bye now.
Goodness gracious, I forgot to get my glass of water ready for you. Everyone knows that PJ's Picks is sponsored by Methylene Blue. My friends, if you would like your own bottle of Methylene Blue, I don't got much left, so I'm just going to dump the rest of the bottle in. There we go. I got 2 more bottles sitting over there. If you would like your own bottle of Methylene Blue, go to thealexjonesstore.com/dome. You get whatever you want. In fact, if you buy anything off of the alexjonesstore.com/dome, you get what you want, and Mr. Rotella gets 10% of that order. We are an official affiliate of the Alex Jones Store. Stream cheers to the cats. All right, let's go. It's so weird looking you guys in the eye.
December 16th, 1773. The Boston Tea Party takes place more than a year before the Revolutionary War breaks out. American colonists board a British ship to protest tea taxes and dump hundreds of chests of tea overboard. 1944.
And now we just let the government rape us with taxes.
World War II's Battle of the Bulge begins as German forces launch a surprise counterattack against Allied forces in Belgium. The month-long battle is Nazi Germany's last attempt to drive back the Allies from its home soil. And 1770.
This is Beethoven.
Ludwig van Beethoven, one of the world's great classical composers, is born in Bonn, Germany. Today in history, December 16th, Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
Slow news day. Slow news day, huh? Andy says Ludwig. That is correct. Wesley Dog. Pardon me. Wesley Dog says, never had hair on my back or chest until 50. Same with the ears, says Wesley Dog. Well, thank you for the breaking news, Westy. Illidimer Andy says, Germany wasn't a country until Beethoven was born or died, says Andy. Total Horse Channel joining us. Ballyho Total Horse Channel, welcome in. All right, we'll go into the Capitol. We got Hakeem Jeffries talking about the Epstein files, followed by Schumer talking about the Epstein files. Let's go to the Dome Theater.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Don't Stop Believin' says, wow, my mom's dog and Beethoven have the same birthday. Aw, how cute. You should text her right now and let her know. What time is it in the UK? Midnight? Definitely text her right now.
Peter Jeffries, last Friday, the House Oversight Committee Democrats released some new photos from the Epstein files. They included photos of President Trump, but they also included a photo of President Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton and his wife have both been subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee and so far have not complied to come testify. Do you think it's incumbent on President Bill Clinton to come testify, given he was in the photos that were released?
I think James Comer is not a serious individual. He has zero interest in actually standing up and supporting the Epstein survivors. He's been dragged along in this process.
So, no answer about Bill and Hillary Clinton coming in for a subpoena, who, by the way, got canceled because she's sick in a hospital in New York City. I'm getting tired of the PSYOP, everybody.
Because of Democratic leadership, including by the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, Robert Garcia,
Wokepotamus,
and that
Dover,
James Comer is not conducting himself in good faith.
So you don't think
Thanks.
that Bill Clinton should testify?
Oh my God, this Epstein stuff is going to be the death of Mr. Rotella. Watch. It will be, my friends. Illidimer Amy Lou joining us. Ballyho Amy Lou. Amy Lou says, we'll keep coming to hang out with you and the Dome no matter what the look, Mr. Rotella. Thank you so much, Amy. E-Rock, Elite Domer joining us. Ballyho E-Rock, nice to see you tonight. This is Chuck Schumer on the Senate floor talking about the Epstein files being released on Friday. I'm sure they won't be redacted at all, guys.
Now on Epstein. 27 days ago, every single senator and all but one member of Congress sent Donald Trump a simple message. They said, Mr. President, release the Epstein files.
That's right, and we could have done it at any other time in the past. In fact, the last 15 freaking years.
The American people have waited long enough for the truth about Jeffrey Epstein. Who knew about his crimes? Who stood by and said nothing? The Epstein files may have some very real answers on that. And it's time for the truth to come out. Donald Trump promised to release the files, and to date he's failed to deliver. Well, no more. Congress has spoken, and Donald Trump must comply. Now, I want to be clear that the Epstein files is not a fight between Democrats and Republicans. It's a fight between those who want the truth and those who keep lying to the public, between those who want the truth and those who want to cover it up. And if Donald Trump won't come clean,
that was the lizard tongue right there, wasn't it?
The American people are going to be asking a very simple question. What the hell is President Trump trying to hide? Why won't he release those files?
Is it a possibility that Trump cannot release the files on Friday? I think it's a much bigger possibility that they are heavily redacted.
Now, because of the law the Congress passed just 1 month ago, the Department of Justice has until Friday to release the documents. I'll be blunt. We fully expect that Donald Trump and Pam Bondi will try every trick they can think up to weasel out of fully releasing the Epstein files. After all, we're dealing with Donald Trump here, a notorious liar, someone who tried desperately to make Americans move on from Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Why is Donald Trump so afraid of these files? Well, as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Mark my words. If Donald Trump...
Sedan says, another lecture brought to you by Schumer's forehead. Yeah, man. I mean, none of these Democrats talk with passion. That's why they need to have everything written for them. And that's also why a lot sometimes when we watch the congressional hearings, you see their little aides in the background mouthing exactly what the people are going to be saying.
Bondi tried to hide the truth this Friday. The legal and political public backlash will be ferocious. After all, it was the public who demanded these files be released. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, people wanted the truth and continue to demand the truth. If Donald Trump releases just some of the Epstein files while unlawfully trying to hide others, the American people are going to see right through it. They're going to know he's hiding something. Over the past few weeks, I've worked with Senate Democrats to partner with attorneys for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and with outside legal experts to explore every possibility, prepare for every eventuality, and to take every available step to ensure the administration fully complies with the law. If Donald Trump and Pam Bondi unlawfully withhold Epstein documents that they don't want the public to see, we will know about it.
How would we know that they didn't release everything? Take your time,
buddy. If the
buddy.
administration tries to weaponize the narrow and careful statutory exemptions Congress provided to hide the truth, we will know about it.
Yeah, you just read that.
If the administration provides anything less than a full and comprehensive release of the Epstein files, legal and political consequences will almost certainly follow.
Fuck, man. If God, I don't believe how bad we fumbled this thing. I mean, now we're at the point, if we redact anything, which we will, obviously, the Democrats are going to go absolutely crazy about that, making us look even, I mean, why didn't we just come in and do it? Like we said that we were going to. But no, you guys have heard my fucking monologue over and over again about this topic.
In a year when Democrats and Republicans have disagreed so fiercely on just about everything, on this issue, both parties are practically on the same page.
Oh, thanks, Woke.
It's how the Epstein File Transparency Act passed with near unanimity. The American people want the truth. Democrats, independents, MAGA Republicans, and everyone in between. So, President Trump, it's time to release the Epstein files, all of them. It's time to stop hiding the truth, Donald Trump. It's time, Donald Trump, for you to keep your promise to the American people, a promise you campaigned on. And Mr. President, Mr. Trump, if you fail to come clean, the American people will demand to know, what the hell are you trying to hide?
I mean, definitely. I don't know what to tell you. 100% we will. Ladies and gentlemen, Caroline Leavitt out in front of the White House, and doesn't she look great in leopard print?
Caroline, does the White House view Van
Would you guys just relax and let her get to the microphone? Enjoy the walk. Jeez.
Bear's article on Susie Wiles as
Enjoy the walk, folks.
I'll say a couple of things on that. First of all, as you all saw on Truth Social, President Trump is going to be giving a joint address an address to the nation, not a joint address, an address to the nation tomorrow night.
We will be live at 9 o'clock Eastern, everybody, for the address to the nation. I'm sure it's going to be super important. He's going to tell us how Trump's going to tell us how the economy is a hoax now.
Live
Everything's a hoax, guys.
9 o'clock Eastern. I know you guys will all be tuning in. It's going to be a really good speech. I was just in the Oval Office with the president.
Campfire starter. We'll start this over. Campfire starter says, I blame Bondi for the slow roll on the Epstein files. I mean, I want names and I want to blame somebody. We need to blame somebody for it.
Tomorrow night, live from the White House here.
We'll be live for that.
You guys will all be tuning in. It's going to be a really good speech. I was just in the Oval Office with the president discussing it. He's going to talk a lot about the accomplishments over the past 11 months, all that he's done to bring our country back to greatness, and all he continues to plan to do to continue delivering for the American people over the next 3 years. As for the Vanity Fair article, Michael, I'll take your question directly. This is, unfortunately, another example of disingenuous reporting, where you have a reporter who took the chief of staff's words wildly out of context, did not include the context those conversations were had within. And then further, I think the most egregious part of this article was the bias of omission that was clearly present. And we see a lot of this when dealing with the media every day. You will leave out important context, leave out comments and facts. You know, many people in this building spoke with that reporter, and those comments were never included in the story, probably because it didn't push this false narrative of chaos and confusion that the reporter was clearly trying to push. So what I'll say about our chief of staff, as you've seen from not just my...
I would have read the whole piece for us tonight, but it's behind a paywall. Does anyone out there have a Vanity Fair account? I don't think so.
Myself, but also the entire
Who the hell has a Vanity Fair account?
And a groundswell of support from people on Capitol Hill who don't even work in this building about how incredible Susie Wiles has been to President Trump. And he's been able to accomplish so much because of his leadership and his tenacity, but also because of Chief of Staff Wiles's leadership and her ability to effectuate his agenda. So thank you.
Are there tapes of the interview? I'd love tapes of the interview. I don't even really know what the hell what the heck was said in the Susie Wiles interview. Like, I think she called J.D. Vance a conspiracy theorist. Is that supposed to be bad? I'm okay with that. Let me grab a beer. I am drinking tonight. I'm getting over a stick. Get off my back, Dome. Okay. Go to archive link or disable JavaScript. Come on, woke. Hook 'em up, says M. Wiles. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great to watch Mr. Rotella try to read a 14-page interview?
Mr. Vice President, Jacob Bogage from the Washington Post. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.
Unfortunately, I have to ask a bit of an off-topic question from affordability because news events do intervene, and that is the interviews that White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles gave to Vanity Fair, in which she's quoted as referring to you as, excuse me, and again, not my words, sir, but a conspiracy theorist of
oh my
a decade,
God, don't ever call him that.
Your transformation from someone who once opposed President Trump to now his vice president as an act of political expediency.
Cheers to the cause.
I'd like to give you the chance to respond to that, sir.
Well, first of all, if Susie, I'll trust what you said. I haven't looked at the article. I, of course, have heard about it. But conspiracy theorist, sometimes I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true. And by the way, Susie and I have joked in private and in public about that for a long time. For example, I believed in the crazy conspiracy theory back in 2020 that it was stupid to mask 3-year-olds at the height of the COVID pandemic, that we should actually let them develop some language skills.
Nice.
You know, I believed in this crazy conspiracy theory that the media and the government were covering up the fact that Joe Biden was clearly unable to do the job.
Also nice.
And I believed in the conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was trying to throw his political opponents in jail rather than win an argument against his political opponents. So, At least on some of these conspiracy theories, it turns out that a conspiracy theory is just something that was true 6 months before the media admitted it. And that's my understanding. Now, look, I do want to say something about Susie, though, because, again, having not read this article, Susie is a person I've come to know very, very well. And, you know, a lot of you probably ask yourself, what is it like behind the scenes? What's going on, actually, behind the scenes of the Trump administration?
I'd love to know.
I'll tell you, the president is exactly in private who he is in public. Like, I'll tell you a little story. Maybe a week or so ago, I walk into the Oval Office, and Marco and I are sitting there talking with the president about something. He says, stop. And he looks at our shoes and says, you guys have terrible shoes. So he goes and gets a shoe catalog. And remember, this is the Christmas season, so the president's got some holiday cheer. He goes and gets a shoe catalog and gets his favorite shoes and orders like 4 pairs of shoes for me and 4 pairs of shoes for Marco, because he's like, we need our vice president or secretary of state to look their very best. And, then we went back to talking about whatever major, international issue we were talking about. Again, he is exactly in private who he is in public. That's not true of most people in Washington, D.C. It's not. And I've seen so many people who will say one thing to the president's face, Democrats and Republicans, and then will do the exact opposite behind the scenes. You know why I really... You know what they are. And you know why I really love Susie Wiles? Because Susie is who she is.
Wokeopotamus says Trump trainers for everyone. Oh, yeah. He ordered them both those golden high tops.
In the president's presence, she's the same exact person when the president isn't around. I've never seen Susie Wiles say something to the president and then go and counteract him or subvert his will behind the scenes. And that's what you want in a staffer. Because as much as I love Susie, the American people didn't elect any staffer. They elected the President of the United States. And what you want...
I definitely didn't elect any judges to get in our way of things.
And what you want in a staffer is a person who understands they are there to effectuate the will of the American people, and they're there to follow the orders of the duly elected Commander-in-Chief of the United States. And Susie Wiles, we have our disagreements. We agree on much more than we disagree, but I've never seen her be disloyal to the President of the United States, and that makes her the best White House Chief of Staff that I think the President could ask for. And the last thing I'll say is if any of us have learned a lesson from that Vanity Fair article, I hope that the lesson is we should be giving fewer interviews to mainstream media outlets. So
I would have went with don't talk to Vanity Fair. If we would have learned anything from that Vanity Fair article, I hope that we learned don't talk to Vanity Fair. That would have been much funnier.
So with that lesson internalized, I'm going to stop taking questions and just leave you with one final note. And again, it's just a note of gratitude. This is the coolest job I've ever had. Agree with us or disagree with us, I'm sure that every single person in this room made something happen to get me to this job. You went out there and voted. Maybe you persuaded one of your relatives to vote. Maybe even volunteered or knocked on doors or made phone calls for us. I will never forget that my job every single day is to make it so that you guys can have a safe and prosperous life.
Okay, great. And what a horrible clip cut that was. Sedan says, I did. What did you do, Sedan? What did you do? Did you vote, Sedan? Did we all vote? I think all of us voted in here. Sharon here says, aren't I always Westy? Uline, is that something like a catheter? Says Wokeopotamus. I have no idea, Woke. I have no idea. Let's take a musical break. When we return, we're checking out TPUSA. Talking about the conspiracy theories surrounding Charlie Kirk's murder. We'll be right back after this musical break.